in that small town, dreamed of heading southbound. So I hitched down I-65.
Tureen still had 2 years left in high school when Jason graduated. He had two career choices. He had his pilot's license and a guitar. He decided to give music a shot. He scoured the Toronto classified ads and answered one that read, "Wanted, guitarist with vocals for country band. Travel immediately."
So I went down, this was probably on a Thursday. I went down to Toronto and auditioned the following Tuesday and hit the road on the following Saturday. The first gig we played was in Calgary, so it was I was gone doing that for about a year and a half, you know, in 1 to 2 month stints kind of thing. So it was just gone.
I just stayed in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom, you know, keep the grades up or you got to ditch the musician, pretty much.
While Jason paid his dues, Tureen finished high school and then headed to the University of Guelph. After a year in Guelph, she decided to forego university and help Jason build his career. Around the same time, Jason began to perform as a solo artist. Tureen went on the road with him, and shortly after, in 1995, Jason McCoy signed a record deal with MCA.
It was a dream come true in that it was something I'd always wanted, or something I thought I'd always wanted. So I had this record deal, but it was semi-uneventful because you know, a lot of time with lawyers talking back and forth to the label and getting a deal hammered out. Signing the deal wasn't that eventful. And, you know, the first part of my career was just kind of riddled with insecurity and you know, identity crisis after identity crisis, not knowing what type of artist I should be versus what I wanted to be, and a lot of people telling me different things. So it was a scary time, really. Yeah. When I look back, I was just very confused. I mean, I'm still very confused,
yeah.
but I was very young, and we had a lot of success with songs early on that I couldn't really get my head around why these songs were doing so well for us. And I tried to make sense out of everything, and you know, sometimes you just can't.
This used to be our town. Wasn't a back road we hadn't been down.
With hit songs on the radio and his videos on television, Jason's career was taking off. Tureen was directly involved in every aspect of his career. They didn't surprise anyone when they announced their engagement.
We were together 13 years before.
11.
Yeah, 11 years before we got engaged. And people always ask me, they said, well, why did it take so long? I said, well, I waited for her to ask me the whole time, and she never did, so I actually had to pop the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did it on New Year's, or no, actually Christmas, and it was on the way to my parents' place.
Yeah, it was kind of not eventful, quick. It wasn't anything really special.
Yeah.
It was just kind of, I think after 11 years of being together, people kind of expected to get married.
Yeah.
And so we did.
Kinda like it's love. Kinda like it's love. Kinda like it's love. Particularly when my soul starts.
We were engaged for about a year and a half, 2 years, and then I had a lot of band members from past bands. You know, band members change over the years. I had guys who'd been with me at different times. They played the wedding. I had Andy Schick on steel guitar, a good friend of mine, and Todd Merkley was on guitar, and Brian Tulk was on drums, and it was really a lot of fun. I got up and jammed a little bit, but didn't play a whole lot. And
yeah, you can't get you up.
It was great. Treen looked beautiful, and we had the ceremony in the same church that her mother was married in.
Yeah. So my mom couldn't be at the wedding. I wanted to get married there, so we had two ministers.
Two ministers, our minister and the minister from that church, and it was a great day, obviously, and we had great weather, and it was just couldn't be better.
We were sure happy to have that happen. It was certainly something we wanted to see, but we had to wait for time to take its course. We were always hoping that that's what happened.
After the wedding, Tureen continued to be Jason's road manager. His career was rolling along, hit after hit, tour after tour. But life on the road was taking its toll on Tureen.
I was afraid that I'd wake up when I was 50 and go, oh my gosh, I did nothing for me. You know, I did everything to help his career and help him, but what am I going to do? And But I have to say, when we were living in Nashville at the time, recording honky tonk sonatas, and I had made mention to Jason that I was interested in going back to school. And he said, "What do you think you'd like to take?" And I said, "I think I'd like to take nursing. I think nursing." And we came home from that trip, and I came home from somewhere, and all across the table were all the books to apply to nursing school. So I'm like, okay, this is great. So I applied, and then we moved back to Nashville to finish up the album. And during the middle of the album, I had to fly back home and write my entrance exam. And what I didn't know, and then while I was down there, I had to relearn all the math, adding fractions, and they wanted you to know all the basic math, like algebra and calculus. Yeah. Jason would study with me every night. We'd kind of teach each other what we'd remember. And when we came back, he wrote the nursing exam with me. He sat beside me and wrote he was accepted. He was accepted to nursing school.
Right.
So, he had to turn it down, obviously, because Honky Tonk Sonatas was being released. But so he was really supportive when I decided to go back. And throughout my 4 years in nursing school, there has not been a paper that I've handed in that he didn't look over first and check the grammar. And he's the grammar king.
I don't know, but
songwriter,
I write country music. Yeah, I write country music, so it's like can't, ain't, won't, gonna, all that kind of stuff.
Well, the rich man cutting me off in a jet.
Next on Country Couples, with Tareen at school and Jason on the road, the marriage falls apart.
I kind of hit the ditch.
Yeah, hit the ditch. I think, about 3 years ago, there might not have been a Jason and Tareen.